Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a topic that literally touches every single one of us: conflict. Specifically, we're going to explore why it happens and how, believe it or not, it can actually make our relationships significantly stronger. We'll be basing our journey today on the incredibly insightful work of Paula Williams from her book, The Drama-Free Guide to Life. Together, we're going to break down the mechanics of our daily arguments, uncover those hidden emotions beneath them, and shift our entire perspective on what it really means to disagree. So get ready, because the concepts we're about to unpack can truly be a game changer for how you interact with the people you care about most.
So let's start with Section 1, when conflict finds you, or, the daily annoyances. Let me ask you something honestly. Do you actually wake up in the morning hoping to get into a fight with someone you care about? I mean, of course not, right? Most of us just want a smooth, peaceful, totally drama-free day. But somehow, despite our absolute best intentions, conflict just kinda finds us anyway. It creeps up in the most ordinary moments and catches us completely off guard.
We all know these highly relatable triggers. You're waiting on a friend who leaves you on read, a parent says something that just feels deeply unfair, or maybe your roommate leaves a literal mountain of dishes in the sink. In a fraction of a second, you go from feeling perfectly fine to being completely flooded with anger, frustration, or defensiveness. It feels like you're suddenly at war over a dirty kitchen or a silent phone.
Which brings us to a critical turning point, the deeper emotional triggers, and exactly why it hurts so much. Here's the secret sauce from Paula Williams' book. The conflict, it's almost never actually about the disagreement itself. The messy kitchen or the unreturned text, that's just the surface stuff. We get into these clashes because something far deeper, a super vulnerable nerve gets struck. We aren't really mad about the dishes, we're mad because we feel disrespected. We aren't just annoyed by the lack of a text, we feel ignored or even rejected.
And that core psychological truth completely explains why a seemingly minor, everyday disagreement can suddenly feel massive and overwhelming. It's because our core feelings of importance and respect are on the line. Actually, scratch that. It's more like our entire sense of self-worth feels threatened. Once you realize that your intense reaction to a messy room is actually a reaction to feeling unimportant, the entire dynamic of the argument changes. You're no longer fighting about chores. You're trying to protect your own boundaries.
If we want to truly master communication, we absolutely have to shift our perspective. Let's look at how disagreements actually build stronger bonds.
Okay, let this sink in. Conflict is a totally normal, natural part of every healthy relationship, period. Learning conflict resolution begins with accepting this one vital truth. Conflict is not a sign of failure. It doesn't mean you're incompatible or that your relationship is doomed. It's actually a necessary stepping stone to building a really solid, healthy bond.
Because honestly, everyone disagrees. Friends, families, couples, coworkers, everyone. In fact, Williams points out something fascinating. If people never experience conflict, they're usually just avoiding each other instead of actually communicating honestly. Think about it. If you never have friction with someone, it's highly likely one or both of you are hiding your true thoughts and sacrificing genuine connection just to keep this artificial peace.
All right, let's pivot to some reflection and self-discovery to help you process those feelings. Bring to mind the very last conflict you had with someone in your life. Hold that memory as we go through these next questions.
Here's your first reflection question. What emotion did you feel first? Before the yelling started, before the silent treatment, what was that very first raw spark? Was it fear? Embarrassment? A sudden pang of rejection? Identifying that initial vulnerable feeling is step one to truly understanding your own conflict patterns.
Moving to our next prompt, what did you actually need in that exact moment? Think deeply about what was lacking for you right then. When your roommate left that mess, did you just need to feel respected? Figuring out your unmet needs takes the focus off blaming the other person and puts it right onto understanding your own internal compass.
Now be totally honest with yourself without any judgment. What's your default reaction? Do you avoid conflict and sweep it under the rug? Confront it aggressively? Or just let raw emotions take the wheel? Knowing your default setting empowers you to change it. And hey, the next time conflict finds you, remember these 3 simple steps to stay calm. First, pause before reacting. Second, take a deep breath to regulate your nervous system. And third, observe your emotions without letting them hijack the situation.
Take a breath and finish this sentence. One thing I learned about myself from this conflict is: what does this reflection process reveal about your own inner boundaries, your unique triggers, and your personal needs going forward?
every single argument is honestly just an incredible opportunity to learn a vital lesson about who you are and how you relate to the world.
Paula Williams absolutely hit the nail on the head with this takeaway. The goal isn't to eliminate conflict, the goal is to learn how to handle it well. We've got to let go of this fantasy of a completely drama-free life where no one ever disagrees. Instead, we can step up to the challenge of intentionally using these moments of friction to build honesty, respect, and much deeper connections with the people around us.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder. If holding back your true feelings and avoiding conflict just creates distance, what relationship in your life needs a healthy, honest disagreement today? Where might stepping into the friction, understanding your deeper emotions, and speaking your truth actually transform your life for the better?